Laudetur Jesus Christus. Praised be Jesus Christ. Good morning to you all. You are joining us live for Pope Francis's final meeting in Mongolia, where he has spent the last 4 days on his 43rd Apostolic Journey abroad. From wherever you are joining us, on behalf of Vatican Media, I would like to welcome you to this worldwide telecast and to wish you a very happy Monday. Some of you may be joining us through various Vatican Media channels, perhaps the Vatican News live events or Vatican Radio app, the Vatican News English portal, YouTube channel or Facebook live feed. A warm welcome also goes to all of you joining us through our media partners. These are EWTN TV, Shalom World Television, Networks USA, Shalom TV India and Sunday Shalom, Atmadarshan TV India, Salt and Light TV, Catholic Faith Network, Catholic TV, Luminous Radio and UCTV, Uganda Catholic Television. You might otherwise be tuning in through other local diocesan stations, picking up the broadcast or picking up our shortwave radio broadcast. And lastly, to all of you joining us through internet sites and digital platforms throughout the world, welcome to you all. My name is Francesca Merlo, and it is my privilege to be providing the English text and commentary for you today. For those of you following on television who can see images, the Holy Father is just arriving to the House of Mercy in Ulaanbaatar. As I mentioned, this is his final meeting of his 43rd Apostolic Journey. After this, he leaves. He goes back to Rome. There will be a departure ceremony at the Genghis Khan airport, from which he will then head back to Rome. A little bit about the House of Mercy, which the Holy Father is visiting. It is located in a disused school complex, which once belonged to the Sisters Hospitaliers of St. Paul of Chartres in the Bayangol district, which is in the central part of the city. The house, as it is now, came into being thanks to the initiative of the local church leaders and the prefect of Ulaanbaatar, Cardinal Giorgio Marengo, as well as thanks to the help of the National Directorate of the Pontifical Mission Societies of Australia, the Catholic Mission. The house it has been transformed into a temporary shelter for the poor and has been equipped with a medical clinic which meets and will meet, because it is yet to be inaugurated, the needs of the homeless and victims of domestic violence. We see two young boys dressed in traditional Mongolian dress handing the Holy Father some flowers, a beautiful bouquet of flowers. And he, in exchange, gives them a rosary each, as he often does. The Holy Father will be hearing the testimonies of two people involved in the work of the House of Mercy. And he will also be giving a speech himself before blessing the house and, of course, inaugurating it. There is music being played, as you can hear, and the Holy Father is getting seated. He has invited everyone to sit down and is now doing so himself. It's a very intimate environment. Not too many people. The Pope, of course, is smiling. And we now hear the speech of the director of the House of Mercy, who is Brother Andrew Tran Lefrong.
The House of Mercy is committed to reach out to those who somehow feel at the margins of society. We have created a home where all are welcome. Our hope is to create a place of shelter for vulnerable people, especially women and children, so that they can gather in a loving environment and feel valued, safe, and at peace. The home also functions as a first aid center for the homeless. We try our best to support people in gaining access to what they need, be it regaining what is due to them or reconnecting with their families during hard times. We provide in need with free laundry and bathroom facilities, basic food supplies, and clothes if needed. Above all, we make sure that there is always someone to talk to, someone who just sits and listens graciously to whomever comes and knocks at the door. The original vision of His Eminent Cardinal Giorgio Marengo was to create a center where all just institutions serving in the areas of social justice and care for hope for the wounded would come together and become a reality. In this way, it will become a common and enduring contribution of the particular church in Mongolia. We at the House of Mercy seek interconnectedness with all those who share the values of love and compassion and share social responsibility in the spirit solidarity, synodality. Echoing what Your Holiness has started on several occasions, we would like to be on the side of those who do not have the right to speak or are not heard. The House of Mercy is a place of encouragement. Together, we hope to build a different world in the spirit of togetherness and mercy. We break down barriers through inter-religious, community-focused volunteer work. In this spirit, we cross the border of difference, reaching those who are often neglected. Holy Father, as your time with us in Mongolia draws to a close, we would like to thank you. We also look forward to continuing this journey of hoping together for a united and brighter future for the people of Mongolia. Thank you.
That was the director of the House of Mercy, Brother Andrew Tran Lefrong, who has just received a rosary from the Holy Father. And now we hear another first testimony.
I am Sister Veronica Hill, a member of the Sisters of St. Paul's of Chartres, and I currently serve at the St. Mary Clinic in Mongolia. I appreciate the opportunity to share stories of the St. Mary Clinic. For nearly 2 decades, the St. Mary Clinic has been providing free primary healthcare service to the impoverished in Mongolia, with support from Seoul St. Mary's Hospital in Korea. I have had the privilege of serving here for the past 8 years. According to the latest statistics from the Mongolian government, 2020, around 9,000 street people are unable to access medical benefits, and the poverty rate hovers at approximately 27%. Over the last 5 years, the St. Mary Clinic has treated an annual average of 10,000 to 12,000 patients. The St. Mary Clinic carries out 4 core tasks for these individuals. Firstly, we offer medical treatment and medication to those who cannot afford to visit regular hospitals due to the lack of identification and money. Secondly, in collaboration with Seoul St. Mary Hospital, we provide free surgeries for children with heart disease, a critical service not yet available in Mongolia. To date, we have successfully conducted around 27 surgeries. 70 surgeries. And the project The Children with Heart Disease is still ongoing. Moreover, we connect those seeking effective treatment with medical professionals and hospitals. Thirdly, we procure medication that are not readily accessible in Mongolia, and when necessary, offer support for surgery costs, essential items, and medical expenses. Lastly, St. Mary Clinic occasionally transforms into a marketplace, a restaurant, sometimes a place where people urgently seek financial assistance. When I first started working at the clinic, building close relationships with an impoverished was not an easy task. There is a memory that still remains vivid in my mind. I was brewing warm coffee on the cold winter morning 7 years ago. Through the gap in the door, I saw 3 street people trying to warm themselves. At that time, holding a warm coffee cup in my hands, I felt so sorry that I burst into tears. Since then, I have started providing tea and bread to those who come in the morning. And after my shoes were stolen, I began giving shoes to those in need. Through these 8 years, I have come to realize that I am, in fact, the one who is poorer than those we serve. Being with them, I gradually find solace, protected from the influence of the material world. While not everyone seeks daily brings me joy, this diverse experience has taught me to open my heart to God, knowing that I have a purpose for me even today. I sincerely hope that the work of the St. Mary Clinic brings joy to God and Holy Father and the poor people. Thank you for your attention.
We just heard the testimony of Sister Veronica, who works at the center. She told of how she came to dedicate her life to those in need. And now we will hear another testimony. This testimony is of Lucia Otkon-Gorel, representative of Health Group. Good morning, my name is Naidan Suren Otkon-Gorel and I am the 7th of a family of 8. I am very happy to speak here on behalf of thousands of people with disabilities. I spent my childhood in the company of my parents. Although I was born with a disability, I grew up as a normal and happy child with the help of my dear parents and my brothers. In 2002, I received an invitation to join the Catholic Church. My first journey of faith began with the help of the Consolata missionaries. I am very grateful because thanks to them, I began this beautiful experience in Christian faith. 2 years after I approached the church, I reflected on my life before and how I live now, and I prayed. When I saw the cross, I saw Jesus with nails in his hands and feet. Why is a person nailed like that? As soon as I found the answers to this question within myself, I realized that Jesus had been nailed to the cross for me, for love, for my sins. And I felt that this is a cross I should bear and carry gladly. I understood that he was crucified for me. I was very moved, and I perceived that this is also my cross, and so I happily accepted my cross as a disabled person. This is why I say to many disabled, believing brothers and sisters that God gives everything. He gives an opportunity to every person, and depending on how you see and accept this opportunity, your life is filled with God's love. I am missing 2 arms and 2 legs, but I want to say that I am the luckiest person in the world because I made the decision to accept fully the love of God, the love of Jesus. And I receive this great energy from Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That was the testimony of Lucia Otkongerel, a representative of the House of Mercy, a person with disabilities, who is visibly moved and sits next to Sister Veronica, who was the other to give her testimony, who encourages and comforts her. There's a lot of pride. You can see that everyone is proud of each other, and now we hear music. Everyone is turning to face a group of young children who are holding up colorful cardboard cutouts of trees with fruit on them and flowers, and there is perhaps the youngest member of this group of young people who is dressed as an animal. We will listen to them as they sing. as you can hear, those attending the meeting are clapping along. And so are the members of the House of Mercy. The youngest child, who is dressed as an animal, has given the Holy Father a present, and although we could not see the front, we read on the back, "We love you, Pope Francis." And now we prepare for the Holy Father's discourse. Dear brothers and sisters, good morning. Thank you very much for the warm welcome you have given me, and for your song and dance, your words of greeting, and your testimonies. I think that it can all be summed up in those words of Jesus. I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. In those words, the Lord gives us the criterion for recognizing His presence in our world and the condition for entering into the supreme joy of His kingdom at the last judgment. From the very beginning, the Church took these words seriously, demonstrating in action that charity is a fundamental element of her identity. This initiative is at the basis of the identity of the Church. I think of the accounts of the Acts of the Apostles and the various ways in which the first Christian community put Jesus' words into practice in order to build up a church firmly established on 4 pillars: communion, liturgy, service, and witness. It is wonderful to see how after so many centuries that same spirit pervades the church in Mongolia. Though small in size, its life is marked by fraternal communion, prayer, selfless service to those in need, and witness to its faith.
Proprio come le 4 colonne dei grandi ghirri che sostengono il tondo centrale superiore per
Like the 4 columns of a great gur that support the central upper ring, they allow the whole structure to stand upright and provide a welcoming space within. So here we are together in this house that you have built, and that today I have the joy of blessing and inaugurating. It stands as a concrete example of that care for others that is the hallmark of the Christian community. For where we find welcome, hospitality and openness to others, we breathe in the fragrance of Christ. Generous service to our neighbors, concern for their good health, basic needs, education and culture has distinguished this vibrant portion of the people of God from its inception.
Negli anni 90 hanno sentito subito l'appello alla carità.
From the time of their arrival in Ulaanbaatar in the 1990s, the first missionaries immediately sensed a summons to works of charity, which led them to care for abandoned children, our homeless brothers and sisters, the sick, the disabled, prisoners, and all those who, amid suffering, sought their care.
Oggi vediamo come da quelle radici è cresciuto un tronco, sono spuntati.
Today we see that from those roots a tree has grown, branches have spread out, and much fruit has appeared in the form of a variety of praiseworthy charitable initiatives. These in turn have developed into long-term projects, carried out mostly by the various missionary institutes present here, and much appreciated by the population and civil authorities. Indeed, the Mongolian government itself had sought help from Catholic missionaries in confronting the numerous social emergencies of a country that, at that time, was in a delicate phase of political transition and marked by widespread poverty. Those projects continue to draw upon the dedication of missionaries from many countries who put their knowledge, experience, resources, and especially their love at the service of Mongolian society. To them and to all those who support these many good works, I express my appreciation and offer my heartfelt thanks.
Della misericordia si propone come punto di riferimento per una molteplicità di interventi caritativi.
This House of Mercy is meant to be the point of reference for a variety of charitable works, hands outstretched towards our brothers and sisters struggling to navigate life's problems. A safe haven, in other words, where people can find a listening ear and an understanding heart. While not unlike many other initiatives supported by various Catholic institutions, this new undertaking is also special, since here it is the particular church that carries out the work, coordinating the efforts of all the missionary groups, while preserving a clearly local identity as an authentic expression of the Apostolic Prefecture as a whole. I very much like the name you chose to give it, the House of Mercy. These two words contain a definition of the Church, which is called to be a home where all are welcome and can experience a higher love that stirs and moves the heart. The tender and provident love of the Father who wants us to be brothers and sisters in His house. It is my hope then that all of you can contribute to this project and that the various missionary communities will take active part in it through the commitment of personnel and resources. For this to happen, the contribution of volunteers is indispensable. A purely generous and selfless service that people freely choose to offer to those in need, not out of concern for financial remuneration or personal benefit, but out of pure love of their neighbor. This is the style of service that Jesus taught us when He told His disciples, "Freely you have received, freely give." Serving others in this way may seem like a lost cause, but once they put themselves on the line, those who sacrifice their time and effort discover that whatever they give without expecting anything in return is never lost, but becomes instead a great treasure. Indeed, generosity unburdens the soul, heals the wounds of the heart, brings us closer to God, becomes a source of joy, and keeps us young inside. In this country so full of young people, volunteer work can be a decisive path towards personal and societal growth.
E con l'alto standard di vita, il sistema della previdenza sociale da solo non basta a erogare tutti.
Then too, even in technologically advanced societies with high standards of living, social welfare systems alone are insufficient to provide all the services that are needed. To do so demands legions of volunteers who are willing to commit their time, skills and resources out of love for others. The true progress of a nation is not gauged by economic wealth, much less by investment in the illusory power of armaments, but by its ability to provide for the health, education and integral development of its people.
Vorrei dunque incoraggiare tutti I cittadini mongoli noti per la loro magnanimità e capacità.
For this reason, I would like to encourage all the citizens of Mongolia, who are well known for their generosity and capacity for self-sacrifice, to engage in volunteer work, placing themselves at the service of others. Here at the House of Mercy, you have a training ground that is always open, where you can exercise your desires for good and train your hearts. Finally, I would like to reject certain myths. First, the myth that only wealthy people can engage in volunteer work. Reality tells us the opposite. It is not necessary to be wealthy to do good. Rather, it is almost always people of modest means who choose to devote their time, skills and generosity to caring for others. Another myth needing to be dispelled is that the Catholic Church, distinguished throughout the world for its great commitment to works of social promotion, does all this to proselytize as if caring for others were a way of enticing people to join up. No. Christians do whatever they can to alleviate the suffering of the needy. Because in the person of the poor they acknowledge Jesus, the Son of God, and in him the dignity of each person called to be a son or daughter of God. I would like to envision this House of Mercy as a place where people of different creeds, and non-believers as well, can join efforts with local Catholics in order to offer compassionate assistance to our many brothers and sisters in one human family. That is an important word, compassion, the capability of feeling passion towards others. That would be a splendid witness of fraternity, a fraternity that the state will rightly seek to protect and promote. For this dream to come true, it is essential here and elsewhere that those in public office support such humanitarian initiatives, encouraging a virtuous synergy for the sake of the common good. Finally, a third myth needs to be discredited. The notion that only money counts, as if the only way to care for others is to employ a salaried staff and invest in large facilities. Certainly, charity demands professionalism, but charitable works should not turn into businesses. Rather, they should retain their freshness as works of charity, where those in need can find people ready to listen to them with compassion, regardless of whatever pay they may receive. In a word, to truly do good, goodness of the heart is essential. A commitment to seeking what is best for others. Commitment for the sake of remuneration is not true love. Only love can overcome selfishness and keep this world going. In this regard, I would like to conclude with an anecdote from the life of Saint Teresa of Calcutta. A journalist, seeing her bent over the foul-smelling sores of a sick person, once told her, "What you do is beautiful, but personally, I wouldn't do it even for $1 million. Mother Teresa smiled and replied, "I wouldn't do it for $1 million either. I do it for the love of God." I pray that this kind of gratuitous love will be the value added of the House of Mercy. For all the good you have done and continue to do, I offer my heartfelt thanks and I give you my blessing. And I ask you please, in your charity, also to pray for me. Grazie, thank you. And with that, the Holy Father has finished his discourse. We now are expecting to all join together in praying. The Holy Father is standing up, and we pray.
Let us now turn in prayer to the Blessed Virgin Mary. Amara Maharan Maria Mire.
Та хишиг хэлээр бялхан билээ. Эзэн тантай хамт байна. Таныг нэгтгэжүүлийн дундаа асаад илсэн билээ. Таны хэвлийдэг бүр Есүсийг басаад илсэн билээ. Тэнгэр бурхны эх Мария гэгэминэ. Та одоо болгон насан эцэслэг мөчид нүгэнд бидний төлөө залбиран сойрно. Амен.
The Lord be with you. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Our help is in the name of the Lord. May Almighty God bless you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
After the prayer, and now the Holy Father is turning around and a plaque is being unveiled, and he is blessing the plaque with holy water, the plaque of the House of Mercy, commemorating the Holy Father's visit. It is written both in English with a Mongolian translation, and now the Holy Father is giving a gift to the director of the House of Mercy. It is an icon of the Virgin and Child, made within the context of modern Lebanese artistry. This icon of the Virgin Mary and Child is directly inspired by the celebrated icon of Our Lady of Tenderness, known also as Our Lady of Vladimir, of which there are different versions, and this one is the Virgin Mary Glikofilusa, or Our Lady of the Sweet Kiss. The Holy Father and the director of the House of Mercy posed for a photo together with this present. The Holy Father is now being introduced to other workers and people involved in the House of Mercy. by Cardinal Giorgio Marengo, the prefect of Ulaanbaatar. Some more on the gift that the Holy Father gave to the House of Mercy. According to one tradition, the icon of Our Lady of Tenderness was painted by Saint Luke, the perfect iconographer, on a table belonging to the Holy Family while Mary was still alive. And with the Holy Father is leaving, bringing an end to this 43rd Apostolic Journey abroad. In a couple of hours, the Holy Father will have a departure ceremony at the airport and will depart. And this ends the live broadcast of Pope Francis's meeting with the charitable organizations and charity workers here in Ulaanbaatar. Please visit the Vatican News web portal, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube accounts for coverage of the Pope's journey, as well as a departure ceremony which will be taking place shortly. On behalf of Vatican Media, I would like to thank all of our media partners, EWTN TV, Shalom World TV Networks USA, Shalom TV India and Sunday Shalom, Atmadashan TV India, Salt and Light TV, Catholic Faith Network, Catholic TV, Luminous Radio and UCTV, Uganda Catholic Television. As well, I would like to extend my gratitude to our in-studio audio technician Patrizio Cibrari and our coordinator Sister Bernadette Rees, who made this broadcast possible, and of course for all of you joining us worldwide. I'm Francesca Merlo, and it has been an absolute pleasure to be with you on this Monday morning. Until next time, Laudetur Jesus Christus, praised be Jesus Christ.
Questa è la cucina, qui ci sarà la cucina. Quando devi parlare del buon profumo del Cristo, speriamo che il buon profumo del cibo aiuti. Qui le persone hanno questi due ambienti dove stare per... Sì, adesso vogliamo salutare. Sì, ma perché certo, un saluto del vescovo di Incheon, la Caritas in Corea, che è il capo della Caritas Corea che aiuta questo centro, il vescovo ausiliario di Daejeon, il padre Kim che è mancato a maggio, lui è il vescovo ausiliario di Daejeon e la loro diocesi ha fatto una donazione in memoria di padre Kim per questa casa della misericordia. Grazie. Delle pontificie opere missionarie. Quelli della Giamaica sono fuori. Ah, ok, allora. Ah, so che devi essere venuta stamattina, sì. Me l'ha già detto Ecco, qui è la foto di padre Kim, quel sacerdote coreano che è mancato a maggio, e lei, la signora, anche ha curato molto questi giorni difficili. La sua famiglia ha deciso di fare una fondazione per aiutare gli studenti in Mongolia a studiare all'università.
Grazie di esperti di come di Kim Sang-yeon, Stefano padre. Grazie mille.
Thank you very much from whole Mongolia. Blessings.
Loro sono quelli che hanno lavorato nella comunicazione, tutti questi giorni hanno fatto un sacco di lavori per rendere possibile le trasmissioni, sono da parte nostra. Fare una firma. Lui è un nuovo operatore che abbiamo assunto per potenziare il settore della comunicazione. Ecco, lui ha anche un altro sempre della comunicazione, lui anche vorrebbe una firmetta. Grazie. E anche un qua. Lui era venuto alla GMG in Corea, io ero in Corea, aveva fatto pranzo con lei alla giornata dei giovani dell'Asia. E lui lavora molto anche, è un avvocato, io ero il lawyer, e lavora nel tribunale qui di Ulaanbaatar, una famiglia cattolica molto impegnata, molto media. Anche lui era collaboratore del settore media e della comunicazione. E Mr. Jan Felgentreu è stato per tantissimi anni il coordinatore dei Misereor in Mongolia. Lui è della Germania e ha sostenuto tantissimi progetti della Chiesa in Mongolia. Adesso il suo periodo è finito, però continua a impegnarsi per la quel foglio, Florian aveva un foglio bianco con cui girava. Voleva scrivere su un foglio di carta, se lo spiego e adesso scrive si chiamate Florian, Gloria, sì, per il posto che io
Questa, quella, questa sul servizio 1.出来了啊！
亲爱的教宗，我们敬爱你。
Sì, daglielo a lui. Sì. Ridistribuisci.
伟大的教宗，我们永不移。亲爱的教宗，我们敬爱你。
行了，可以了，收敛一下，每个人都有。
教育万民，领导我们到天国。我们永不移。
不要抢，一人一个。够了，好嘞。给你了吗？
真的 love you，
不会不想
我们敬爱你，你是基督代表，代表教育万民，领导我们到天国。伟大的教宗，我们永不移。亲爱的教宗，我们敬爱你。你是基督代表，你是真理太阳，教育万民，领导我们到天国。伟大的教宗，我们永不移。亲爱的教宗，我们敬爱你。你是基督代表，你是真理太阳，教育万民，领导我们到天国。伟大的教宗，我们永不移。亲爱的教宗，我们敬爱你。
Sì, sì, li stiamo distribuendo piano piano, tutti quanti. Un'altra scatola, Luca.
我们永不移。亲爱的教宗。
Zajte, свой номер. Да, вот, еще что-то. No, no, no,